to Would I Lie to You, the show with barefaced lies and well-masked truths. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a presenter with the most famous fringe outside Edinburgh, it's Claudia Winkleman. And a comedian who fell in love and married her husband when she was booked as a guest on his show. Don't get any ideas tonight, I'm taken. It's Sara Barron. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, a comedian and huge fan of heavy metal. I'm delighted he's on the show, and I'm even more delighted he's not my neighbour. It's Ed Gamble. And a Church of England minister who once appeared on Celebrity MasterChef. What she did with those loaves and fishes was amazing. It's the Rev Kate Bottley. So to round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction, and Kate is first up tonight.
Can I just say before you start, this whole thou shalt not lie, let that go for a couple of hours.
One Sunday, I embarrassed myself in front of the entire congregation after too many cups of communion wine.
David's team.
So, cups of communion wine. Had you over-catered and you had to finish it up?
Yeah, basically that's what happens. So the rule is that if you bless the wine, it then has to be reverently consumed, is the phrase. So you have to finish it. I guess where it comes from is that, you know, once it's blessed, it sort of changes, if you like. It's not just normal wine anymore.
Well, as usual, the issue of transubstantiation has come up on the show. So, obviously, if it's the blood of Christ, you can't just pour that down the sink. You've got to drink it, because Christ wants all of his blood finished up.
Yeah. So I had, like lots of vicars, I look after lots of churches, and so I had lots of services that day.
Well, that must be very difficult.
Yeah, well, there's lots of dashing about.
You say it's difficult, it's only one day a week, isn't it? I mean, the hours are good, aren't they?
You can fall out with people, you know.
Not if you're full of forgiveness.
So how many have you got under you?
Well, at that point, I had 3 churches that I looked after, and so I had an 8 o'clock service, a 9:30 service and an 11 o'clock service. I finished the 8 o'clock wine, and then I finished the wine at the 9:30 service, and I'd not had any breakfast that morning.
Oh.
So at 11 o'clock, I'd given all the wine out,
Yeah.
like you do.
Given some of the wine out,
Given some,
polished off the rest of
I'd
it.
misjudged how many people might come up for the wine.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
they're probably scared of the drunken woman, aren't they?
If you're having a bit of blood, would you not line your stomach with a bit of body first?
you think, right? I finished the wine, and I looked down at the cup at the same time, and there's a little floater of bread that someone had spat back into the
Oh, no.
and that sort of made me feel a bit queasy, and so I excused myself at that point, and I went to the church loo.
Oh.
And so I was unwell.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
OK.
Into the loo.
But you didn't embarrass yourself. You go off, you come back. Divine.
Oh, yes? Where is the embarrassment?
In the eyes of God!
I got to the loo, and I had my microphone still turned on. And that went out on the church PA system.
The acoustics in some of those medieval buildings, the sound of vomiting would echo down from all the angels, the stained glass. It would be like God himself was vomiting.
I'm wondering if, like, afterwards, did any of your congregation have a nickname for you or make fun of you, like, in subsequent weeks?
They thought I was pregnant.
And did you use that as an excuse to make you look better?
Well, I wouldn't say I used it, but I didn't carry tables for a few days and move chairs.
Sarah, what are you thinking?
My instinct is telling me that it's a lie, because I think she's more in control than that.
Obviously, I believe the thing that you've got to finish up the blessed wine. You can't just put the cork back in it. It's very difficult.
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's impossible to know. All right. We're going to go lie.
All right, you're saying lie.
Might be true. We accept that it might be true. So we're going to go lie.
So, Kate, was it true or was it a lie?
It was true.
Well done, Kate.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's true. Kate really did embarrass herself in front of the entire congregation. Claudia, you're next.
Okie doke. For several months, I had to sleep on the floor because I'd given up my bed for a sunbed.
Lee's team.
When was this, Claudia?
Yes. I think it was in the 90s.
Why did you give it up as opposed to just getting a sunbed?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, because...
Have a little read of it again if you need to.
No, I'm absolutely fine. Who needs a bed? I'll sleep on the floor. More
But what-
important to be orange.
Was it...
Sounds like someone speed dating with an Oompa Loompa.
There you go.
Right, talk us through the process of how you got a sunbed.
Yeah, I didn't purchase one. I borrowed one for
You
a bit, for some money.
For what?
She's trying to say she rented
I
one, I
rented,
think.
that's what happened. I rented
So you rented a sunbed?
I rented. Hello, you want a sunbed? I'll give you some money.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then for a couple of months, for several months.
How much was a sunbed in the 1990s?
Well, it was about £40 a month.
40
Around
quid a
that.
month to rent a sunbed.
And they were called sunbeds for rental.
Wow, what a great name.
Yeah, .com.
In the 1990s?
No, it wasn't .com. Just hello, VHS, other things, toasties, and we put sunbeds. And
Hello,
hot biscuits.
sunbeds, toasties and
That's what it was.
Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Where are you living? Have you set out into the world as a young
I've set
Claudia?
out. I'm at university.
Oh.
Where were you at university?
Cambridge.
No.
No. I'm assuming...
It's a lie. It's a lie.
She might be... What did you study?
History of art.
We could test her on that. Go on, Ed.
When was the first painting?
So where was this room? Was it in a campus block?
No, it was in... I was in a road.
Just a room in a road? Was it surrounded at all by a house?
It was in a house.
Did you sleep on the floor next to the sunbed?
Curled up like a mushroom. That's
if
how I
it's-
sleep.
Well, you're probably under the lamp too long.
Did you ever bring anyone back after a night out?
I had quite an unsuccessful love life at university.
Were
Thank you
there
for
just
bringing that
men
up.
leaving more tanned than when they came in?
Kate, what do you think?
Well, it's tricky, isn't it? Because the way she's stumbling and hesitating
No,
could
it's
be a
not true.
complete, red herring.
Could be.
Orange herring. I'm going to go lie.
The thing is,
I think
Claudia's
I'm
been on the
lie.
show many times before, and sometimes she tells the truth, sometimes she lies, but what I've learnt about her is she doesn't know what's going on in her own life.
Have you got one now at home?
No, because I found a new way.
What's the new way?
Being spray painted. Once a week, twice a week during Strictly.
I had a spray tan once.
You had a spray tan?
Yeah, when we did the trip to Greece, they wanted us to look a little bit tan before we went. So a girl came round to my house, set up what looked like a crime scene tent in the,
there you go.
in the living room, put paper pants on me, and went...
She actually put them on you? Well, I never get them on, dear. Come on, lift your leg up.
Is she telling the truth or telling a lie?
I think we go true.
You think it's a lie, don't you?
I think it's a lie.
I think it is true.
You're going to say true? OK. Claudia, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is true.
Yes, it's true. Claudia really did sleep on the floor to make space for a sunbed. Sarah, you're next.
Okay. I once watched a sad film immediately before breaking up with a boyfriend so I could generate enough tears to mask my indifference.
Right. Wow. Lee's team.
When was this?
This was about 12 years ago.
Right, so the obvious question to ask is what was the name of the boyfriend?
Jan.
Jan?
Jan.
J-A-N?
J-A-N.
Do you mean
Jan.
Jan as in Jan because he was Scandinavian?
No.
Do you mean no as in N-O?
It was a nickname
Yeah?
for January.
Oh, his name was January. Now it makes sense. What was his surname?
Warren.
January Warren.
How did you meet January Warren? At a calendar fair or something?
Yes,
How long have you been seeing each other?
4 months.
And what was the film you chose to watch?
Beaches. So
Beaches.
sad at the end.
I don't think I've ever seen Beaches.
Bette Midler. Bette Midler.
Yeah.
Bette Midler.
Say Bette Midler one more time.
Bette Midler.
I remember it now.
The wind beneath my wings. That's where that song is from. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be.
I feel like I should press a button to close the curtains at the creme at this moment.
Sarah, I'm going to be January Warren. And we're going to recreate it, OK?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, how you doing, honey? I just gotta tell you, I've never been as happy in a relationship as I am with you. Honey, you look a little upset. What's the matter, sweetie? Honey, is something wrong? You want some fun time? Make it right?
I'm not happy.
You've been watching Beaches again, right?
It sounds like I've been watching the Muppets.
I don't know if I'm upset about the film or your American accent, but I can't spend any more time with you, Jan.
You know what? I'm turning into Fozzie Bear as well.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you watch Beaches with him?
Yeah.
You sat with him to watch it,
Oh.
and the plan was
that's
always to
devious.
finish by the end of the film.
I thought, I know I'll cry if I watch Beaches, and that he would be, like, less angry because I was already crying.
So how did January react?
He was sad.
Well, he'd been watching Beaches as well. So already he's in a terrible mood.
He was sad, but he told me that he understood.
What do you think, Kate?
I think that I would choose Beaches to make me cry. I think that's plausible. I think because it's a really sad film.
Ed, what are you thinking?
I think it's true. They're 100% true.
I'm going to go 70% lie.
Right, well, I'm going to commit even further. I'm going to say 50% true. It's a lie.
You're saying it's a lie?
Of course it's a lie.
OK, Sarah, truth or lie?
A lie!
It's a lie. Sarah didn't watch a sad film just before a breakup. No. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. It's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, John. So, Ed, what is John to you?
This is John. I once hid behind my shower curtain after mistaking him for a burglar.
Ed's mistaken miscreant. Kate, how do you know John?
This is John. He gave me the best day of my life at the National Funeral Exhibition.
Kate's morbid mate. And Lee, what is your relationship with John?
This is John. He recently named his baby Lee after I helped him deliver it in a local library.
David, where do you want to start?
Ed, where was this shower curtain?
I was renting a new flat, and it was the first night that I was there.
Yeah. And tell us a story.
I was asleep.
Yeah.
And I was woken up by someone coming into the front door, and I wasn't expecting anyone to be coming in.
Yeah.
So my immediate reaction was to panic. I was in a new place, ran to the bathroom, locked the door, got into the bath, shut the shower curtain.
Have you seen the film Psycho?
I haven't.
And Ed, what was he doing in your flat?
So it emerges that he was the previous tenant, and it was his first night in his new place. He was drunk and just went home on autopilot.
Didn't you change the keys when you took over?
You can't just change the keys, you have to change the locks as well, otherwise they don't work.
Well, we got the keys off the landlord.
Yes.
And obviously, John hadn't given his keys back.
So what happens next?
Well, so I was in the bathroom for
Yeah.
quite a long time, panicking, because I thought there's a burglar.
How did the panic manifest? Just, was it palpitations? What was going on?
Sort of an all-over fizzy feeling.
Right?
Are you living with a girlfriend?
Yeah, but she wasn't. She was away for work. I had to do the move, basically.
So you're cowering behind the shower curtain.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're as fizzy as anything.
Yeah.
Girlfriend's away, you do the move. All right, OK. And he's in.
That's exactly how the
Thank you.
conversation went.
Yeah. And he's pickled, coming in, fumbling around.
Yes.
Where's my bed? And you're behind the shower curtain.
I was fizzing for about an hour, and I could hear them smashing
an
around,
hour?
like
How was
fumbling
fizzing?
around.
Smashing around or fumbling around? They're
Yes.
different things.
No, well, smashing and fumbling.
Smash, smash,
He
smash.
fumbled. He
Fumble,
fumbled.
fumble,
He
fumble.
fumbled.
Smash, smash, smash.
He fumbled.
Your
the-
Tommy Cooper impression isn't getting any better, is it?
He fumbled to the extent that it became a smash.
Ed, what is the moment when you decide to open the bathroom door and emerge?
When it's gone completely silent.
And that doesn't strike you as the most threatening moment?
No, because he might have gone. I was hoping he'd gone.
You come out cowering. Open the door.
I peek and can see that he's fallen asleep on the
Oh,
sofa.
my God, yeah.
You're in pyjamas. You go out.
No,
Do you
just
wake him
boxers,
up?
boxers.
So you're just in boxer shorts?
Yes.
One can feel vulnerable like that.
Yeah.
What do you sleep in, David?
Conventional pyjamas.
Do you sleep in the full
Stylish.
matching top and bottom pyjama?
Actually, at the moment, seeing as you're interested, I have got...
I'm not interested, David, I'm aroused.
My most recent system involves more pyjama-ish bottoms, and then actually it's more like a T-shirt on the top, which is
You
incredibly,
are getting so
incredibly
rock and
modern.
roll.
What do you sleep in?
I sleep in my boxer shorts if I'm cold, and if I'm feeling hot, nothing.
Now I'm aroused.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
So you're in a Lee Mack-style nocturnal outfit.
Yeah, but the cold version.
Yeah.
And I gently approached. I did have a small vase in one hand just in case it turned rough.
Had you taken that into the bathroom, or did you pick it up?
On the way.
Right, OK.
Off the little table.
Yeah.
So you'd unpacked the flat in one day, girlfriend away, and
No.
thought the little vase would look lovely here.
Well, I'd not fully unpacked, but I'd unpacked the knick-knack box and the little vase was at the top of it.
Knick-knacks first, necessities later.
Yeah.
We're not animals.
I don't need my clothes, but I tell you what we do need is a tiny little trinket area.
All right, look, you're there in your boxers, you got your knickknacks out. What happens next?
I gently shook him by the shoulder, gently woke him up, and he was a bit confused, to be honest, but once he realised what he'd done, he was very, very embarrassed.
So what had he been doing for all that fumbling and smashing?
Well, I think he was trying to make himself a snack.
Did you see evidence of what sort of snack it was?
Well, the cupboards were empty.
He'd made himself a lovely knick-knack sandwich.
So, David, who would you like to quiz next?
Kate, so what is the National Funeral Exhibition?
It's like the trade show.
So it's not a permanent thing. It happens once a year, like a sort of conference, like the motor show, that kind of
It's
thing.
like the ideal home exhibition, the ideal death exhibition.
I like to call it the Hearse of the Year show. Anyway, a friend of mine who is also a vicar had been to it before and said, you should go to this. And so John took me along because John is my local funeral director.
And why was it so fantastic?
There was lots of things to try out.
Could you get in a coffin?
You could get in a coffin and you could have the lid put on.
Did you give it a try, Kate?
I did get
What,
in a
you-
coffin and had a little try in
No.
one. Yep. Well, I'm never going to know what it feels like,
You will
really,
one day.
am I?
You
So-
will one day. I couldn't do that. Could
You
do
won't
that?
one day, Rob.
Well, I think when we die...
We're alive.
We're still alive.
You're a very spiritual person, aren't you, Rob? Yeah.
Apart from these coffins, what else was on display?
I had to go on a grave digging machine. That was a lot of fun. With
A grave digging machine?
I was going to say, is that just a spade?
So, are you friends?
Yep, he picked me up in his car. We went round the exhibition. He was shopping for some things. He had some things that he needed to buy.
What did he need to buy?
New top hats for all the staff, and he also needed more storage, a bigger fridge.
Sorry, did you just say more storage, a bigger fridge?
Yeah.
Does it have an ice-making machine at the front?
How many times in a week do you guys speak to each other?
Oh, only when we've got work, so it depends what the rate of...
Once again, the subject of the local death rate has come up on the show.
All right. Now then, what about Lee? Just remind us what you said, Lee.
This is John. He named his baby Lee because I recently helped him deliver it in my local library.
OK, so what were
Sorry,
you...
we haven't got time for any more questions.
What were you doing in a library?
How dare you? I'd gone to borrow a book. It's a library.
And John is there with his wife.
Well, yes, he didn't give birth to the baby.
And she's that pregnant.
Yeah. She was on the floor screaming.
And the library.
I said, are you all right? And she said, yeah, I'm really overdue. I said, don't panic, the fines aren't that big here.
When was this?
Oh, this was, like, this morning. No, it wasn't this morning. It was about 3 months ago.
OK, so you were in the library 3 months ago.
Correct.
During the lockdown, when all the libraries are closed.
I might be wrong with my timings, but it was just...
Feb.
It was the first time the library had opened after lockdown, because that's why it was so quiet. I was first in there.
You were first in when the library reopened.
So did I say library? Sorry,
Yes.
I meant Weatherspoons. I was one of the first in, and I was in there with my mask, and he thought I was a nurse, and...
So what's the first sound you hear from his wife?
Shh. It was on my phone at the time. Yeah. Shh. Right. And then I walked off, but that was about 10 minutes later when she had a baby.
Who was the one who told her it was time to push?
I wouldn't know when someone has to push.
So who was running this whole
You've
thing?
got lots of
He
children.
was running it a bit, the librarian was running it a bit, the other library staff member was out doing it a bit, and I was on hand to help
right,
out.
look,
I was getting it wrong.
Yes,
I was going, pull!
So, just talk us through it. Take us through it
OK.
stage by stage.
Waters broke in non-fiction, and then she was now...
Now we're in the realms of fiction.
Well, ironically...
I think we all know that. but carry
Ironically,
on.
the most space was in the children's section. She was lying in the children's section. And she goes, I need something. So I picked off the 0 to 2 books. I said, well, they'll come in handy. And then I started helping out.
How did you help out?
How?
Well, first of all, I held her hand.
Really?
Yeah. But I used 2 hands because I felt it was more intimate. You'll appreciate this. I was giving a little prayer at the same time. Help me out here, please, God. I don't know what to do.
Yes.
No. And did a baby appear, or did she get into the ambulance?
Not only a baby, 3 wise men. He's good, isn't he?
So let's not jump ahead now, Lee. Go through it.
I said jump ahead. It was 2,000 years ago.
Let's go on. So, you've got 2 hands praying.
Yeah.
What happened then?
Well, and then she starts having the baby. So
Well, I mean, that doesn't happen
What
in
do you
an
mean?
instant. You got as a little bit of an appearance.
I didn't get involved in the business end, did
Right.
I? Yeah,
Okay.
Who did? The librarian?
my manager, he deals with all the business stuff.
All right. We need an answer. So, David's team. Is John Ed's mistaken miscreant, Kate's morbid mate, or Lee's proud parent?
So at the beginning, when Ed first told his story, I didn't buy it. But now, looking at him, I'm getting more of the drunk guy and less of the funeral director.
But that's because he's come and he's all in casual situation. Does John have a family, Kate?
Yes.
What do they comprise of?
I'll tell you. A small baby called Lee and a wife.
He's got a younger son who's going to follow in the family footsteps.
Wow, he grew up quick.
So, what's it going to be then? Time to decide.
Well, John, would you just tell us?
No.
Process of elimination, I'm going Ed.
You're
Saying
going
Ed,
Stories.
OK. Claude?
I'm going Kate.
David, what do you get when you look at John?
Kate has behaved like she knows this man.
OK.
I'll go Kate.
John, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm John, and I took Kate to the National Funeral Exhibition.
Yes, John is Kate's morbid mate. Thank you very much, John. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lives, and we start with... It's David.
Last year, while staying in a hotel, I was forced to sleep with tea bags in my ears to drown out the sound of the work Christmas party below.
These two.
Where was this?
It was in Bruges.
Bruges? What were you doing in Bruges?
Little Christmas break.
What, from your wife?
No, she was there too.
How long were you there for?
We were there for 3 nights, I think.
And did this happen only on one night?
Yes, it was a one-night Christmas party. Obviously, it didn't really take off.
Was it just you with the tea bags, or did your wife put the bourbons in or something, or...?
Is that a euphemism? No, she had less difficulty sleeping than me.
Why, had you been talking again?
There you are in Bruges, and
Yeah.
what's the noise like? Is it... An occasional Brugians going, ah,
I didn't hear particularly many...
such fun we're having tonight. Oh.
Yeah,
Why is it only one night? Why not 2 or 3? Where's the bearded man we saw in reception? What do you think he's doing now?
I don't believe you're a man who would travel without earplugs to a hotel.
Well, let me tell you, I'm asking you to believe that I am not only a man who would travel to a hotel without earplugs, but someone who has never taken earplugs to a hotel ever.
So now, look, before you put these tea bags
bags
into your ears,
Yeah.
did you try anything else?
Yes, I tried getting to sleep normally.
Was it a regular square tea bag or one of those pyramid-shaped ones?
It was a round one.
Oh, a round one?
Yes.
So you'd have had to scrunch it up and put it in your ear?
Yeah.
I kind of thinking it would have worked better if it had been a bit damp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it a bit damp?
No.
You put it in dry?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Did it?
You've got to be careful. Things can be taken out of context.
I mean, that would be awful if the neighbours were listening to you in the hotel room and Victoria's going, I wouldn't put that in if it's so dry.
So what do you think? Kate, is this true?
I think if he was going to put anything in his ears to stop the noise, it would have been rolled up loo roll. Oh, you know those sugar straws you get? Wouldn't he have put 2 of those in his ear?
You mean the little sachets of sugar?
The long, thin ones, yeah.
Are you mad? So
I'm not putting
the
tea
sugar
bags in my
sachet
ears.
bursts and projects sugar particles into my inner ear.
Sweet dreams!
What are you going to say, Lee? Truth or lie?
Lie. Lie.
It's a lie, 100%.
OK,
Say
saying
lie.
it's a lie. David, is it a lie or was it the truth?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. David didn't sleep with tea bags in his ears. Well, that noise signal's time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that David's team have 1 point, Lee's team have 4 points.
Yes. Well done.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.